So the board returning out of closed session at 6:30 with reporting that we've given direction to staff. And we have public comment. And I'll go forward first with Helen Michael. Not here. Debbie Larisi?
I am Debbie Levisi.
Levisi, sorry.
I just wanted to give my quick story. When I heard that we were not getting what we requested, I worked for the county for about 10 years with Public Guardian, and I was pretty much told that we were going to leave. My husband said we were going to leave, so I took all my retirement. For 35 years of marriage, I was pretty much abused mentally. And so I went to Wisconsin, and he told me everything would be better, and it wasn't. It got worse. So I found myself under a tree and hiding from him, basically, and said, enough is enough. And I made my way back here. I was able to get my county job, or get a county job again with Children's Services, because my Public Guardian job had been filled. Very happy with Children's Services. My Public Guardian job did open up, which I applied for, and I did get it again. Unfortunately, it was cut by the Board of Supes after a year, so I went back into Children's. Because of the last 4 years that I've been here, I took on 3 years of a second job working nights, because I ended up having my husband's bills because he refused to pay the IRS and our bills, so they came after me. I have been able to take care of the IRS, state of California, all of our bills, so basically I'm still paying on one of our bills, which I'm getting closer to. But mainly I wanted to say that when I heard that we were going to go the 10% quite a while ago, I shut off the cable, shut off all the extras, the internet, because I want to continue paying the extra bills that I have from him. And I'm almost there. I was able to quit my second job. I was working nights after working the county during the days, and I'm almost there. And I finally have got my freedom, security. And then when I heard that you guys weren't going to work with us, it really hurt. It hurt today. So I really hope that you guys do work with us and continue listening to us. Because I feel like everything's been taken away for everything I tried. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Lorenzo Torres? Lorenzo? Barbie Swenson?
Hello again. I spoke with you this morning. I myself was a little too upset this morning, and I forgot part of what I was going to say. That is that on the financial side of my life, I have 7 people living in my home. I've worked here for 7 years, and I had quite a little nest egg put aside when I took this job. I also took a cut in pay to come to this job. It's definitely a better working environment, but the pay was less. Since then, I've moved up a little bit, but traveling, expenses, groceries going up, a horrendous PG&E bill from all of those people in the house, water bill, whatnot, everything. I have blown through every single dime that I had put away. So for us to take a pay cut, it's going to mean the difference of, giving my son $5 a week to go out to lunch. He's in high school now. Or going out to eat right now, which consists of getting a Papa Murphy's pizza. I just don't think that you guys understand how hard it is for us and how demeaning it is for us to come to our jobs every day that we're very good at and to be the lower paid county workers and continue to take pay decreases. It's very, very hard. And I would just hope that you keep that in mind. And I also had a question for all of you. I wanted to know if all of you are also taking a pay cut. Can you answer that for me? Is that possible?
I will respond. I have consistently taken a 10% wage reduction since I came into office in 2009.
Likewise, from my first day on the job, I took a 10% pay cut, so I've never taken my full salary. I also don't seek reimbursement for travel out of the county, and I cut my travel budget 50%.
I do not, and I did a calculation with SEIU's wages as I did with the other elected officials. And if I had received the same wages you did over the past 4-year period as with the average of all the other elected officials, and then took a 10% pay, I'd be making more than I do now. Currently, this Board of Supervisors in a regional equation, which is the best measurement for elected officials, in a regional comparative, we're 25% out of market. And I don't think there is any category in the county currently, including the attorneys that were, I believe, before, after the last wage issues that we addressed, I believe they were 20% out. We're 25% out of market at the stated salary. So no, I haven't.
Yes, I've taken a 10% pay cut going on. I think it's going on 3 years now. And personally, I'm probably fairly well financially in good shape. But I also have a daughter that's a single mother and raising 4 little grandkids. So I'm really close to what people in this county, and not only this county, are facing with every day about trying to feed their families and get them to school and all the things that are just the basic needs. I'm quite aware of that. I'm around people every day that are in that situation. And so I'm real close to that. So I understand the plight of especially low-income people in this county.
Well, thank you, and I do appreciate those of you that are taking the pay cut, but I would just like you to really, really keep in mind that your wages are not comparative to ours, and it's very, very, very tough to get through life on a smaller salary. All right.
I would also like to comment that I would have liked to have had the offer that you had, that I believe your bargaining group did not bring to you, for a 30-day period, which was a 36-hour agreement that was in their hands for over 30 days. I would have liked to, I would have signed on to that in a minute, because what it would have meant is it would have meant instead of a 60-hour week, I would have been working 36 hours.
I think it's out of order to
Well,
be
no,
negotiated. No, I do. I think it's...
Supervisor, I think I have the right to respond to the question about wages. You chose to, and I think the chair does as well.
Well, you're kind of going into the negotiation realm almost.
No, this is off the table. It's not negotiations, but I would have taken that because it would have meant a 10% reduction in my vacation time, 10% in my sick leave, 10% in my holiday pay, and then I would have been held to a 36-hour work week. And the incremental reduction in retirement would have been a real small thing to have absorbed in that bigger picture with those other reductions. So for me, I would have signed on to that in a minute. And I don't think you had the chance because it never came to you. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of things that are not relative and you can't compare. We don't get sick leave, we don't get vacation pay. You just need to understand it's, there are many factors. So trying to compare it to elected official salaries is, I really don't think you can do that.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is that you need to compare because you cannot compare your salaries to ours. That's all I'm saying.
Nor to the CEO, we can't compare ours.
Right.
No, we can't.
So we're the ones that cannot afford it. We cannot afford for gas to continue to go up. We cannot afford a grocery bill. We cannot afford these cuts. We just can't.
Understood. I think we all understand that. Thank you very much. So is there anyone else for public comment? I only had 4 sheets. Is there anyone else? Yeah, sure. Come forward. And then we'll close.
I guess it's just, hi, Sandy Crawford Madrigal out of Willits. And we did take that offer, and they voted on that. We were working out the details, just so that you know. We were working out the details, and then there was brand new language that was introduced that everybody got excited about and went to lawyers. So that's just a point of clarification. I thought I had a deal, and we were working out the final details, okay? So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, come forward.
My name is Andrea Longoria. You know, it's really interesting in that you say that our membership we didn't get the deal, the members didn't get the information, which is totally untrue. I really believe that the reverse, the opposite, that you didn't get the information, the proper information that was given to you when we bargained in good faith. And I want to say that you say nonchalantly, yes, we all understood. We all understood that it, you know, what less hours, of course, vacation and certain accruals. But then when you hung us up upside down for every nickel, dime, and penny, when you're getting our bereavement stuff, seriously, I have a daughter that's terminally ill. Are you kidding me? You're gonna fuck with my bereavement? A 32, I mean, to make us permanent part-time employees is just like despicable. We had a deal. We all knew that we had a deal. I'm a single mom. I have 6 kids. I've been in the system on food stamps with a terminally ill child, and now I work for the county, and I was proud, hence the word was. Now I'm ashamed. Ashamed. All I have to say is that we know what was on the table. You don't know. Every time you were offered to come to the table, not one of you ever showed up. One. When you got offered to go to work sites to see what the pressure and the stress that we were all under, not one of you went. Not one. So you sit there on your high pedestals and you tell us, oh, well, you went through the SEIU, you know, in the whatever, and you take, you know, you feel okay taking, not taking a cut, Kendall. And you can say whatever you want because I know you got short timer syndrome. You're on your way out. Okay? But you know what? We have to live in this community, and we are the people that provide the vital services to this community, and we want to continue to do that.
And we appreciate
so
that
I'm
you
not
do
done,
that.
Kendall. I think I still have 45 seconds.
Well, go ahead.
So what I am saying, how can you people look at yourselves at night in the mirror knowing that these people, we all have families, we have children, we have grandchildren. Really, to nickel and dime us, we could, by resolution right now, 36 hours, we can fix this right now. You have the power to fix it. You, each and every one of you, will be held accountable. Will be held accountable. Because there are seats up for election. And with every breath in my body, by God, you know, change is going to happen. Change will happen because this community is not going to stand up for this any longer. We are not. We're trying to do the best we can and stand up and do the right thing. And we want to give. But we're not allowed to let that happen because you want to bully us.
Well, you give every day, and we appreciate it. And you did make a mistake. The supervisor has visited several work sites in recent time. Okay, so that will conclude. Okay, one other person, go ahead.
I would let whoever wants.
Yeah.
My name is Helen Michael, and a wise man, my late husband, said that a man is only as good as his word. Recently, your word is nearly worthless. We had a handshake agreement, which the county has reneged on and gone back on everything we had agreed to. Our good faith has vanished, and you're playing shell games with our livelihood. We will not be walked all over, and we will not go quietly. 12.5% reduction is outrageous and unfair, and to reduce us to part-time employees is a slap in the face. You've asked more overall of SEIU 1021 members than of any other bargaining unit, and we earn even less. And you have not heard the last from us.
There was someone else? please come forward.
So my name is Lynn McGuire, and you talked, Kendall, about the 36-hour agreement that we didn't know about. Well, we knew about it, and we had a good agreement, a handshake agreement, and you guys pulled it off the table. And you talk about wanting to bargain in good faith, and you still have the opportunity to do that. There's nothing at all to stop you, since you thought it was so good, to put it right back there on the table now. And as far as appreciating us, that is the very first time that any of us have heard that, and it does not ring true.
Well, what I meant by that is that you had in your hands a specific agreed-to 36-hour contract with specific language that we thought you were going to vote on and never happened, and you had it for 30 days. No, you didn't.
Madam Chair, it's inappropriate to be negotiating here now.
Okay, so
Madam Chair, I would like to make a comment. I want to apologize to everyone. I do have to go. I have a responsibility to take care of my elderly mother tonight, and it usually falls on my brother, and I told him I would. I was supposed to be there at 5:30, so I do need to go.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor McCowan, you wanted to comment?
Yes, first of all, for the people who believe that we should meet at 5 in the evening so that the working people can attend, I think it's now about 2:45 in the morning. Yeah. So, but I want to say that nobody up here has wanted the negotiations to go the way that they've gone. But here we are a year after negotiations. And the fact that the county was willing to consider a 36-hour work week option for SEIU, I believe, is in recognition of the fact that we do appreciate the fact that in '09, when we first went to the employees for help, SEIU was the first to step up, and they stepped up to the full measure, and other groups did not.
That's right.
Now, we've reached agreements with all of our other bargaining units. It's a matter of public record. And you can look at when their contracts came due, and you can look at when they reached a contract agreement. And those units that reached a contract agreement within a month or two of when their contract came due all settled at a straight 10% wage cut. The groups that did not reach agreement, and blame us or blame them, but you know, it's kind of a two-part thing, but the groups that did not reach agreement for an extended period of time took a 12.5% pay cut, straight pay cut, when they eventually got an agreement. And after negotiating with SEIU for 9 months, again, all public record, the county declared impasse. And at that time, SEIU insisted, no, we're not really at impasse. How about the 36-hour? And what the county agreed to do was to consider a 36-hour work week concept. And everybody knew or should have known that there were dozens of details that would need to be worked out with what that actually meant when you translate it, because it was always based on the understanding that the reduced work week would be the equivalent of a 10% salary savings. 10% salary savings is pretty clear. It's cut and dried. It's 10% is 10%. 10% savings based on a 36-hour work week is a lot different to calculate out every little detail. And there was basically a team of county department heads and employees that were studying what does that mean for several weeks. And that's what the July 21st proposal was based on, that the county ultimately submitted. Unfortunately, SEIU voted approximately June 20th through 23rd. SEIU voted on a contract settlement summary, and when the county found out that you were voting on that document and what the elements of it were, the leadership was notified that there were things in there the county had not agreed to, and they were asked, please delay the vote until we've worked out the details and we're both voting on something we both agree to. But no, you chose to go forward and vote, and that's why there was an all-staff email that went out that said, you're voting on things that have not been agreed to. So that really didn't serve anyone well, I don't believe. And so the county did put the July 21st proposal on the table. There was no response to that proposal to either accept it, reject it, or counter it. And on August 23rd, the board or the county then set a deadline of September 2nd to accept that proposal. And again, there was no response to accept it, reject it, or counter it. And then the 36 hours was taken off the table. So it's been a very tough, long, excruciating, drawn-out process. But again, the fact that the county spent 3 months considering the 36 work week option, something we did for no other group, I think is an indication that we do understand the position that SEIU is in, that many of you are the lower paid employees, and we were willing to consider that option that hopefully would soften the blow. And what we found out through the process was there were things involved in the 36-hour. If we translate that out so that it's the equivalent to you as it is to the other employees, there were things in there that you found very difficult to accept. And we also, I think, came to realize that it was problematical on our end as well. And so now, here we are where we are, and I'm not going to say more, but what I've said up to now, I believe, is an accurate statement of factual information that is all publicly known. And our interest is to wrap this up as quickly and as fairly as we can. The longer it goes out, the uglier it gets, and I think the more everybody probably loses. So
I think Supervisor McCowan summed that up very well, and it was a long time to get to that, and it was an investment, a huge investment of county staff time to figure out what the 36 hours would look like for the 10% savings, and there was diligence on the part of everyone. There was sincerity, and it was for the two reasons that Supervisor McCowan stated. SEIU is the first to step up before, and SEIU represents the lower wage earners of the county. The board recognized that and said, we want to go the extra mile. We want to create the 36-hour work week for this employee group. And we had full intention to do that. We had the specifics of that proposal to you for a 30-day period. When I talked to coastal employees they said, we never saw it, we didn't vote on it, we don't know why, we don't understand. And we really would have liked to have had the opportunity, because we would have liked to have approved it. We understand 10% means 10%. We have to cut the associated accruals. We never saw the contract. So, sure, you can come forward.
Hi. So I think the 36-hour work week got very
Yes, you have to come to the microphone.
Oh, sorry. The 36-hour work week got really complicated, and I think that
Please make sure you get to the microphone, because it's being recorded.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Okay. So
Your name, please.
Crystal Padilla. It got complicated. It did, and neither the fine details of what you guys put together. I know it took you guys 5 weeks to work on it. I know because I have emails that said this is taking longer than it's going to expect. You guys started working on that after June 7th, and so the emails started coming. It's fine. At this point, it's neither here nor there in some respects. The 36-hour work week is not, if we can't implement it, we can't implement it. We gave you an easier way that we thought. You have to understand, members did know it was out there. The minute that we put out what was in that package, in that MOU, that red line document that you guys worked really hard on. I know you did. The minute that we put it out, within 45 minutes, we had 50 emails. I mean, everybody's like, what is this? Part-time. The part-time went wild and crazy. Just the fact that people were converted. So it did take a while to go, whoa, wait, and we had to figure that out. And we were doing info requests to try and understand the intent of the document. There's not a lot of trust. Right? That's a part of the problem. People didn't trust that it wasn't going to have a huge impact to be called part-time. So yes, it got very confusing. It was a lot of little changes that were complicated, difficult to put together, and it didn't get done. Fine. We put together a counter proposal for the 36-hour work week that made it much easier, much simpler. Maybe it was too late. That's what you're saying. You guys keep going back to the vote as well. There was never a reason that members voted on a concept that we came out with. We did. It was a conceptual agreement that we had gotten word, and this is where things got muddy. We had gotten the phone call that said the members were meeting at 5 o'clock that night. We said, okay, call us. If you call us and say we have a deal, then we'll announce it to our members so that we can start the process of voting it. Rick called on the phone. We got a deal. I went, really? He goes, yeah. And I said, all right, let's get the ball rolling. It was great working with you. Awesome. Everybody was up here. So we went with it.
That was June 7th.
That was June 7th, and we had a membership meeting. You guys had met that day. Everybody was feeling great. Were you not feeling great? You had 300 people in that room that were like, woo, thanks for my 10%, right? I mean, like, they were willingly and excited about taking a 10% hit through a reduced work week. We all felt good about it. It was a week later that we heard, oh, wait. And then it was a week later that was like, stop your vote. And I said to Carmel, I said, I'm not going to stop the vote. They're voting. If this isn't right, they can vote again. They can vote again tomorrow. They can vote next week. We can vote again. We're not stopping the vote. It wasn't the rules of our union. You guys don't need to tell us what to do. If we don't want to stop the vote, we don't have to. It didn't mean we couldn't vote again next week on something else. So let me just say that part. Here we are today, and I just got off the phone with Rick, and you're asking us to vote on a concept. So. And I said to him, wait, you guys got mad that we voted on a concept last time and we didn't have an agreement. So now you're asking us to vote on a bullet point piece of paper again, where the wording's not there, that we don't have an agreement on, and you want us to vote on a concept, which I was like, so you just said to me, what, you guys voted on something we weren't in agreement with. You said we weren't in agreement. Now you're asking us to vote on something that we don't have an agreement over. So I'm a little confused why now you want us to vote on. Just explain to me why, and we can't get it in writing that you're asking us.
And I don't think we can respond to that right now. You know.
No.
Okay.
This is
so
you folks are going to.
Yes, that's. So now it's really confusing, and let me tell you why. Not because, like, okay, you might have your reasons or whatever, but now you guys said to the entire membership, you the members of this union are voting on something we didn't agree to. So stop your vote. And now you're asking me to right now go and announce, listen, members, we're going to vote on something that we haven't agreed to. Please vote. And they're going to be like, wait, no, we can't do that again. Remember? So yeah, so it's a little difficult. All I said was, Rick, can you put it in writing that this is what you're asking us to do, and make sure that we know exactly what the points are so that we're all on the same page. I don't want next week there to be an email and say, no, that personal leave language isn't what we agreed to. Does that make sense?
It's difficult for me to believe you're an experienced labor negotiator. I'm sorry.
Why? Because I'm talking to you like a human being
because
and not
after
a
you
robot?
folks voted,
Come on,
after you folks
John.
voted June 20th through 23rd, then you
Madam
came
Chair.
before
Madam
us
Chair,
and
we
you
need to
said
move
we
into
voted
closed
on
session,
our
please.
agreement.
Yep.
I mean,
Madam Chair, this is
we
a
don't
public
get real
expression.
answers
This
from
is
you
not a
people. That's
debate.
not the problem.
So-
Rick talks like a robot.
Krista,
I mean,
we're gonna return to a closed session now, so we're gonna cut off the public comment. We
No
did hear
problem.
from everyone here, so we're gonna do that.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCallum, for your comment. Appreciate it. Won't be around long.
Said all the times that I tried to get to know you, girl, come on.
So the board is now returning from closed session at 8:17, reporting out that we have given direction to staff. Supervisor
And,
McCown?
yes, Madam Chair, I'd like to add that during close to the end of a long day, I did make some comments that were unprofessional and unwarranted regarding the negotiator for SEIU, and I retract those remarks, which again were inappropriate, and I apologize for it.
Thank you. No other business. We are adjourned.